Hello everybody, welcome back to more political chatter. We are doing another 2024 election prediction. This one is between Jared Polis and Donald Trump. Now, Jared Polis is, sorry, I won't go there yet. He is the governor of the state of Colorado, and he is immensely popular. One of the most popular governors in the country, and it's pretty interesting, saying that Colorado is a pretty purple state. I mean, it went to Biden by double digits, but it really is a purple state. If you look back to 2016, if you look back to the Senate races, if you look back to the governor's races before Jared Polis. He used to be a U.S. representative, then he moved up a position, elected governor, and again, he is immensely popular. I've seen multiple Republicans online saying that if they lived in Colorado, then they would vote for Jared Polis, even though they are different parties. They say that they will still vote for him. You know, many Republicans are willing to admit that Jared Polis is a very good governor, and many Republicans would vote for him. Then independents, that's what's going to really boost Jared Polis. His record is so good that he will win so many independents and swing states, and many swing states will go to him. But then again, this is 2024, and and Democrats are underwater. The president is unpopular, so this is if Biden steps down, maybe Polis runs, beat some other people, and then he ends up winning the nomination. But you know, there will be everyone, Democrats, independents, and Republicans alike, who are like, well, the country is not so good right now. I don't approve of the job that Joe Biden is doing. How do I know that Jared Polis, someone of the own party, will be any different? So he will lose a lot of support from that. But let's go right into it. And Jared Polis is progressive. I will point that out. So California and Washington would be safe. Why would be safe? I see progressive states like Oregon being safe, even though they're on the verge of being likely in 2024. I think that they will stay safe for the Democratic Party. I think that Illinois will stay safe. D.C., Maryland, Delaware, New York, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and Vermont would all stay safe. And then going to New Jersey and Connecticut. In Maine's first district, all two states in one district that went all likely for Hillary Clinton in 2016. I think that because of how popular Jared Polis is, he will reunite the Democratic base, and he will be able to win here. Going to save Trump states: Utah, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, North and South Dakota, Kansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Alaska, Nebraska's first, Nebraska's third, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, and West Virginia. And then going to the state of Montana and Kansas, and yeah, that's going to be it. These two states are probably, I would say, the most moderate in the heavily Republican belt of the Midwest, you know, of the states I just did. And I think that Jared Polis, especially because he comes from the Midwest, I think he's going to do very well in the Midwest, especially with the progressive Democrats who will be encouraged to go out and vote for him, who weren't that encouraged to go and vote out and go vote for Biden in 2020. They just did because Trump was in office. But now Trump is running again, so progressive Democrats will turn out. So I do think that Montana and Kansas would be likely. Going to Alaska, I think that Jared Polis will do very well in the state of Alaska. I do think that it would be lean. Definitely another state where he will connect with the people. And I did forget to do another safe state. I think that his home state of Colorado would be safe. See, he went to Biden in 2020 by, I believe, 13 points, if not like 11 or 12. All right, Jared Polis, you know, he's going to win 6 more points than Biden did, 7 more points than Biden did, right? Because Biden barely even connected with this progressive base here. But Jared Polis saying that he's going to win so many people in his home state, that will be safe. All right, going to, let's go. I don't know, let's just go across the country. In Iowa and Ohio, I think I don't see Iowa really adopting his progressive agenda. I think that's going to stay likely. I don't, see Jared Polis doing that well. But in a more, I should say moderate, not progressive, in a more moderate state like Ohio, where Trump did very well in 2020 and 2016, I think that this will be lean for him now. I really think that Jared Polis will turn out Democrats, and something that Obama did and won the state. I really think that's not all you need to win, but I think it's going to make an impact. But then again, Trump has this appeal here, and plus Biden is unpopular, so I do think that Ohio would be lean. And Indiana, honestly, would probably be safe. I don't see Jared Polis doing that well here. Well, likely because Mike Pence won't be on the ticket. So Indiana's likely. Going down to Texas, I mean, he's not going to do that well with the minority vote. Being completely honest, I don't see him turning out minorities as well as Biden did in 2020. I should say specifically African Americans, because the turnout among like Asian Americans and Latinos was very bad for Joe Biden, which was really weird. So I do think that Florida would be likely. Texas would be likely. I think that Florida would once again go in the Trump column by a lean margin. Make it tilt because there will be a lot of Republicans who will switch to Jared Polis's column just because of his good record. Then going to South Carolina, that will probably stay likely. And then Georgia and North Carolina, you don't really need a progressive candidate to win these two states. And Biden's victory in the state of Georgia shows just this. He was a moderate, and Jared Polis, him being very progressive and having a good record doesn't do much. You really have to have a connection with African Americans so they will turn out and vote for you. Jared Polis does not have that. Georgia, lean Trump. North Carolina, lean Trump. So this is a very interesting map saying that now Florida is closer than North Carolina and Georgia, and Texas and Alaska is closer than, or is just as close as Georgia, North Carolina, and Ohio, So Jared Polis would be a very interesting candidate. New Mexico, probably go to Jared Polis just because he does have a connection down here. Arizona, definitely a state where he will turn out these progressive Democrats. I would say that's going to go to probably lean Polis. Again, he does have a connection down here. And also, Trump made the remarks about John McCain, and that will hurt him very badly coming out of the state of Arizona. That will definitely go to Jared Polis. Then a definite state for Jared Polis would probably be the state of Nevada. I see it going likely Polis. They're definitely going to like his progressiveness and his good record, and Democrats will turn out for him here. That's all you need in a state like Nevada. It's also all you need in a state like Virginia. I think that's going to go likely Polis. Going to Nebraska second, I would say that this is going to go lean Polis, a pretty progressive one electoral vote there. They're pretty progressive city, Omaha. And I think that he will have this Midwest appeal, which will also grant him victory in the state of Minnesota by a likely margin. I think he will do well there also. So the Midwest, with the exception of Wisconsin and some of Michigan, is all complete. And then going to Maine at large, let's go to Maine second. So I think that Polis will do very well here because, moderate candidates typically don't do that well here. Biden and Hillary shows this. They both lost it when Hillary was really expected to win this, and many people thought Biden would win this, but none of them did. But go back to Obama, who's much more progressive. He won this by almost double. Maybe it was double digits. I know it was double digits in 2008, but almost double digits in 2012. But still, Trump has an appeal here, and I think his vote will decrease. I think it will now be a lean margin, which does mean that Maine at large will be safe. And then going to the state of New Hampshire, they're going to it's a moderate state, but they're not going to mind his progressive agenda. They voted for Obama twice. They liked Obama, and now they're going to vote for another Democratic senator, and Maggie Hassan. And this is definitely a state where they care about record. Record really matters. They don't care what party you're in because it's a moderate state. They care about record, and they're really going to like Jared Polis. Then going to the blue wall, this is Polis territory. This is his base, and he will be a win by a likely margin in the state of Michigan, because he will take back many of the rural voters that Joe Biden wasn't able to take back in 2020. And then Wisconsin and Pennsylvania looking at Democrats, very progressive, especially in the state of Wisconsin. And in Wisconsin, he has that Midwest appeal. And in Pennsylvania, I don't know, I think he's really going to do well with the voters around here just because they did vote for Biden in 2020, and he just has a really good record once again. So this is my final map. Jared Polis wins with 287 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 251. So he wins by 30 electoral votes. It's actually a pretty close election. I was not expecting it to be this close, saying that he won Arizona and the entire blue wall. Really, that South is very important. You really need one of those southern states to do really well in a presidential election. So, I shouldn't say really well. to do well, I should say. And I did mean to point out that he is listed as a potential contender for the Democratic nomination in 2024 if Biden does not win. So thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you on the next video.